What up, guys? Kevin here. What's up, my job seekers? We got a job seeking article here that I'm calling BS on. This just sounds too crazy, too insane. Even in today's market where there's layoffs left and right, it's hard to find a job. And this person here, a millennial who's been looking for a job for over 4 years, says his degrees plural, degrees, plural, have offered little value. I can't get anything even at minimum wage. And here's the young fellow right here. Looks like he has a very hireable face. Look at the symmetry here. We got good symmetry. We got no acne. Nice clean cut beard. No neck beard going on at all. Nice shirt. Looks like something you can get at Kohl's, but that's where I get a lot of my clothes too. Looks like he's in a city here where there's plenty of jobs. So, 4 years with multiple degrees, can't even get anything even at minimum wage. Guys, if I couldn't get a job for 4 years, I would be probably dead. Probably dead. Or maybe living with my parents. But that just doesn't sound right. And shame on you. You're making me look bad. I'm a fellow millennial. All I do is work. It'd be nice to have 4 years off. But in Virginia, with 2 degrees, has been job hunting since January 2020. Now, I call absolute BS on this, or something is left out. Let's do a read and react. This is from Business Insider. Roland, so his first name is Roland, last name Hesmondal. The name, okay, that name's not going to scare anyone away. I work with someone whose name was, I don't want to give the name away. I'd be kind of, because there's only one of these people. But the name was a candy, and let's just say her name was very yummy. Her name wasn't very yummy, but it was kind of in that style. And that person got a job. Someone hired that person. So Roland Hesmondal, maybe the last name may scare a couple people off, but Roland. But yeah, started searching for a job in January 2020. He's still looking. Okay, January 2020. I remember January 2020. I remember, I think that was when Donald Trump took out one of some terrorist, and I remember he posted a picture of that terrorist's hand that blown off with the finger on it, and I was like, yeah, the economy was soaring at the time. The economy was kicking ass, and then with just him taking out terrorists, everyone hates terrorists. I'm like, he's gonna win, easily gonna win re-election. But no, then a few months later, we had COVID, which, okay, that did shut down a lot of companies, or mainly restaurants and businesses that weren't really necessity at the time. But then everything opened back up. Let's keep reading, though. In 2019, he was a part of a part-time photojournalist while working towards a bachelor degree in multi-platform journalism at the Florida Institute of Technology. He thought it might lead to a full-time opportunity after he graduated, but then he was laid off. The 32-year-old who lives in Virginia told Business Insider, being laid off sucks. My first job, I didn't get laid off, but I got bought out by a company, and everybody quit because the company sucked. My job turned into a very high-pressure sales job instead of doing like education like I was doing. And I quit. I'm like, I just can't do it anymore. So it was even worse. It's not like I got a severance. I wish they kicked me to the curb and I got a severance, but no, I had to leave because this is not what I signed up for. But yeah, it sucks. It absolutely sucks. Aside from the occasional freelance gigs doing photography or YouTube script writing, which he says pay very little, He hasn't found work since. Yeah, I mean, gigs, guys, you got to get on the gigs. Get on the gigs. The gig economy, I hate that's what the world's coming to, but you got to have a backup here. And it sounds like it's something. This is something. Maybe it's just enough to, I don't know if he lives with his parents. I don't know if he'll say here, but maybe that's enough for him to help out his parents a little bit. So he's not being a nuisance towards them. But I don't know. It hasn't been for the lack of effort. Now we're going to question this. Hesmondal says he looks and applies for jobs every week, and he earned a master's degree in journalism from Georgetown last year. He says he's even expanded his job search to restaurants and retail jobs, stocking shelves and flipping patties, for example. But he struggled to even get a second interview for any job. Hesmondal says that his journalism degrees have opened no doors and that he's overqualified for many of the entry-level positions he's applied for, something he thinks has made some employers less likely to hire him. I cannot get a job to save my life. I bet you if someone offered him $50,000 to get a job by the end of the week, I bet you he can get a job. Something is off here, guys. Is that it? But yeah, let's just stick to this right now. Something's very off. Now, what? Journalism and stuff like that? Dude, everybody's a journalist. Consider this journalism. Me reporting on stuff. Like, I don't know. Like, it sounds like you got really bad connections, your network. I don't know. Maybe there's something. Maybe there's like a criminal history. I'm not making accusations here, but it's just very odd that you can't get a job, dude. It's just very odd that you can't get a job. All right, you can't get a job in journalism. I got a communications degree. Did I get a job in that? No. It was impossible to find a job around me or anyone that would hire me. But I did get a pretty decent job out of college that led me to where I'm at now. But something ain't right here, guys. Restaurants opened up. Like 2022, everything opened back up. And basically up until, I would say, early this year, I was the angriest fast food connoisseur or customer because a lot of these fast food places were shut down because of the lack of employees, or the drive-thru was packed because there was a lack of employees. They closed the inside or the dining because of the lack of employees. Didn't we see like articles of people at Waffle House straight up making their own damn food because there were no employees? And you still couldn't get a job? Something is off here. Something's very fishy. Burger King, I can go get a job right now, Burger King. I can probably go get a job at Burger King right now and tomorrow morning own the damn place. You can't get a job at Burger King? I don't know what's up. So something is off here. Something's very off here. Unless he lives like in a very small town, it doesn't sound like it. Or at least from that picture. He said, I cannot get a job to save my life, he said. That just, what's the unemployment rate? What's the unemployment rate? Oh, I was going to say right here. While the male unemployment rate is low compared with past decades, Hesmondal is among the men who have struggled to find work or have stopped looking altogether. How do you just stop looking altogether? Oh my God, I need to work. I can't find a job. I'm just going to quit. Sometimes I like hear these stories. I'm like, what world is this? If I don't work a day, I'm fucked. Not really, but that's a good chunk of change that I do need. So, yeah, I'm just going to give up and I don't know. I guess I could become homeless. Or stop working altogether. In 1950, about 97% of American men ages 25 to 54 had a job or were actively looking for one. According to the Bureau, blah, 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 as of June, this figure had fallen to about 90%. So 90% of men have been or have a job or been looking for a job. Among the explanations for this decline is in recent decades, it's become difficult for some men to land a high paying job without a college degree. He has multiple college degrees. Though it was hard for me to get a decent, like, okay, I graduated for college type job. It was hard for me. I'm a millennial back in 2011. It took like 6 months for me to get my big boy job with benefits and a 401k and a desk and computer and all that. Dual monitors. But I assume it's probably hard in this day and age. And I can understand going for that type of job. But yeah, for 4 years, I mean, good on you for looking for restaurant gigs. But you're telling me Waffle House wouldn't hire you? Seriously, Burger King, Jack in the Box, whatever it is. There's places you can go in. Like, I go to these restaurants or these fast food places. These people are on meth. There's people on crack. There's this McDonald's near me where I call it Meth Donald's because it's like a whole family that runs it. It's like an older mom and like three of her kids run it, and they're always like yelling at each other. And I'm just like, how is this a thing? Nepotism at McDonald's. But something's off here. Maybe there's something in his background history, or maybe this is a really old picture, and maybe he has a giant dick on his forehead. Like, yeah, that might be a little unhireable. Something seems off here, guys. Tell me what your theories are. Like, or maybe I'm wrong. Maybe you just cannot find a job. I think after like a year, I would seriously start thinking about moving. I'd be like, you know what? The area I'm moving or I live in is not providing me work. I got to move somewhere. These challenges persist today for men, even as more companies have become open to hiring candidates without degrees, which sucks though, because these companies should be paying more, but there's so much competition that they can't afford to pay more. It's very, I don't know. That's a separate video. We want competition, but competition isn't good when, Target down the street's only paying minimum wage. Well, fuck it. We don't have to pay more than minimum wage if they're doing it, and they can get away with using competitive. That's a separate video. But Hesmondahl can attest to having a degree doesn't guarantee success in the job market. The cost of college and pursuing a degree may not be worth it for some people. Hesmondahl shared why he thinks the job search has been so challenging and what he plans to do moving forward. Yeah. Here's my going to college advice. Don't. Unless doctor, lawyer, something where like you really need to learn a specific skill to do what you want to do. A lot of this stuff, like if you're just like journalism, really, like you're better off just creating a YouTube channel and creating actual work that you can point to, a portfolio, or whatever. Without consistent income coming in the door, Hesmondahl says he's been forced to rely on student loans. So you're still a student. The Amazon sales of a young adult book he published. Oh, there you go. See, he may not understand this, but this is good hustle. This is good. Like you're young. This is like you're learning to fend for yourself. You're learning to be creative. You're learning all these different outlets of making money. It may not be much, but yeah, I mean, once you get a good job, you're like, oh, yeah, I wrote a book. I can easily write another one, or I can do all these other things. Insurance money tied to the death of his father. Ooh, this one. And his mother's disability payments, some of which she shares with him. Okay, I see here. Hey, Roland, I will call you. Sorry about the death of your father, your mother's disability. That sucks. But if I have to guess, he's got a good chunk of change here where this last 4 years of looking for a job, we all know the friends that look for jobs or people who look for jobs. They're like, I'm looking, no one's hiring. I'm like, are you putting in an application? You putting in like one a week? This kind of tells me he has money to live off of. He has, you know what? I'm in no rush. I'm looking for a job, but I'm not in a rush. I like to know how many applications he's put out. The easiest way to get a job is to carpet bomb your resume everywhere or applications everywhere. I remember when I quit my first college job or out of college job, I carpet bombed my application or resume everywhere. And I was like, holy crap. And I was getting calls from all these big Fortune 500 companies. I'm like, oh crap, do I want to work at Charles Schwab? Do I want to work at Bank of America? Do I want to work at State Farm? Do I want to work here, 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 here? And a little bit of effort helps. But no, that's just my guess is this insurance money here is helping him live pretty comfortably for at least 4 years. And I don't know, like, how does this even become a story? How does this become a story, guys? Like, did someone reach out to him? Like, or did he reach out? Oh, I can't get a job. It's been 4 years. I don't know. Like, are you putting in 8 applications a day, which should take maybe like a couple hours, which is something bare minimum I feel you do if you really need a job? Or are you doing like 8 applications a month? Something tells me even these restaurant jobs, he's looking for a good one. He's looking for maybe one he can move up. Like, oh yeah, I'll run an In-N-Out or whatever In-N-Out version is out east. You know, a nice one, you know. If you're going to work in the fast food restaurant, there's nice fast food restaurants you can work and make a living. Hell, make more than what I do. To save money on rent, he recently moved from Washington, D.C. to Arlington, Virginia. If his job struggles continue, he says he'll probably move in with his mother next year. So his mother gets disability payments and still gives him money. He lives on his own. So for 4 years, this dude's been able to live on his own. Or he might have a roommate, but something's off. This reeks privilege. This reeks like absolute privilege. It's privilege to go 4 years without working or without like a real job. Not saying it isn't fair. It's just you're privileged to not have to work for 4 years. Husbandahl says his job search strategy has consisted of being on the mailing list of roughly 6 online job boards, okay, applying to roles in person rather than online whenever possible. Wait, why? Okay, I didn't know you could even do that, but, and expanding his search to almost any job he feels qualified for. This is weird. This dude is just lazy. This dude is just lazy and doesn't want to work. As soon as this guy has to absolutely make rent or whatever, he will get a job. As soon as whatever money runs out, he will get a job. I feel like this guy's going to go on 8 years and still can't get a job. And we'll do an update because someone will do a story on it. Let me know. Let me know in the comment section if you find it very hard to find a job, which I can assume that's absolute possibility, but it's been at least a year. At least a year. And you are applying every single day, or at least 20 applications a week. If you're doing less than 20 applications a week, you're not trying. You don't need a job. Well, ideally he'd land a job in journalism. The field he has 2 degrees in. Hey, game journalism. He thinks he's struggled to land journalism roles because most of the positions he's looked at require 3 to 5 years of formal newsroom experience. And he doesn't have that. There's got to be like an entryway. Again, I think YouTube would be a great place to start. Just make very professional work and fake it till you make it. Again, fake it till you make it. Because once you get hired, it's a lot harder to fire you, even if you faked it, unless you're totally lost. And yeah. When it comes to non-journalism roles, he says his college education has worked against him. Leave it off, dude. Leave it off. Leave it off. Either leave it off or learn to position it as, hey, I'm here to stay. This is going to be my second part-time job on the weekends. Because I think people would, of course, look at me like, oh, yeah, you're going to get something real and leave us. But yeah, you need to have different types of resumes for different type of jobs. Yeah, if I'm applying to Burger King, I'm probably going to leave off all my degrees and stuff. And do they even care about job history there? I see 16-year-olds work at these fast food places. I don't think they need job history. Whenever I see a hiring sign and I think I'd be comfortable working there, I go in and talk to a supervisor. He said their eyes light up at first, but after I go over my credentials, it's just pure ghosting. I don't want to lie, but it seems like honesty is the worst policy. You could still be honest and just leave it out, not bring it up. Just say, oh, hey, what were you doing before this? Did you go to college? Just say, hey, I was just, I got a little part-time thing over here. I do this project. I don't think they're going to follow up, but did you go to college? They don't care. They don't care. I think what probably does it is they will ask like, hey, where do you see yourself in 5 years? Or what's your goal here? And I'm sure his goal is not to be working at Burger King 5 years from now. But yeah, you got to lie, dude. I don't consider it lying when you're going to go there. You're going to help out. You're going to clock in. You're going to go to work and then you clock out. You're only going to lie if you go in and you clock in and you don't work. Then you're lying. If you go in there and you clock in and you get your work done and you clock out, that is the exchange. That is a transaction. There's no lie outside of what you told them that doesn't pertain to the job. Your degrees don't pertain to Burger King. He also says prior work experience in entry-level roles doesn't seem to be of any value for low-level grunt work. It's not an issue with experience, he said, adding that he's worked in pizza restaurants, dog kennels, and supermarkets. Yeah. Husbandall says the closest he's come to getting a job in recent years was when he applied for the Supreme Court and U.S. Capitol Police agencies, of all places where he got really close to. He had a tentative job offers from both, but for some reason they fell through. Uh-oh. Yeah, so it's also sounding like he may have a sketchy history. Or not even that. It may not be sketchy. I lost a job, huge financial business. Corporation. I lost a job. I got hired and my background check failed because there were too many discrepancies. And most of them was because I did Uber in the around like 2014, 2015, and I couldn't prove that I started a certain year or started in 2014. Because I like lost my account and I lost like everything. And like my 1099, they accepted it, but they're like, well, your start time you say in August, but we need to cut that down. And then college, I forgot I did summer school my first year of college. So I actually started early, and on my resume or application, I started in like August or September. And that was a discrepancy. And just like those two things, I lost a job. They're like, yeah, there's too many discrepancies. We can't move forward with you. I'm like, really? Really? And they're like, yeah, I mean, if it was like one or two, but you got a few here. I'm like, but I can prove it. Like I wasn't intent online. I forgot I went to summer school. Sorry, I can't prove the exact month I started doing Uber. And I think businesses got better with Uber. Like Uber is just hard to prove, your work. They want like We need to see pay statements and all this stuff. Businesses have gotten a little bit better with that stuff, but but yeah, it sounds like yeah, you had an offer and they said nope. That's a little odd. That's a little strange. Unless that was like during COVID and they swept the rug from under you. Like, yeah, we're not hiring anymore. Yeah, so something's off. It sounds like he's getting enough money to get by and he doesn't really care to look. History, I'm not accusing him of anything. It's just my guess. If I had to guess why someone not getting a job for 4 years. Going forward, he says he plans to continue his job search for as long as necessary while he's looking. He says he's continuing his education through Harvard's online creative writing program to boost his writing credentials further and stay active. Stop it. Stop it. Stop learning. Stop learning. Go to YouTube and start creating. Just start making, build a portfolio. You said it, like it's hurting you. And you probably can't help it. Like, I got to put it on my resume and I can't lie about it. People see the word Harvard and the Harvard and Burger King don't go together, man. Burger King sees the word Harvard, yeah, they're gonna ghost you. They're gonna turn you into a ghost. They're gonna throw you out the drive-through window. He says he misses working and the sense of purpose it can provide. It hurts to see so many people and news stories saying there's record hiring and I can't get anything even at minimum wage. Yeah, just something's just not adding up here, guys. I can go get a job. Everyone can go get a job. Dr. Disrespect can go get a job. EDP can go get a job. I think, did EDP ever get a job? I don't know. But those are pedos, and they can get a job. So, I don't know. Something's off. Still, navigate your life, young sir. Everything. If there's something on your background check that is coming up, maybe you may need to do a background check too. It may not be his fault, guys. Guys, it may not be this man's fault. There might be someone stole his identity, and his identity is like switched up with someone doing shady crap that's coming up on his background check. That could be it too. I never thought about that, but yeah, that could be it. It may be like identity theft, and something on his report is a huge no-no that he may not even know about. So I would look into that as well. Do a background check on yourself because they'll do it to you. And they should give you a copy. Like when you do an application, you get a job, and they're like, all right, we're going to run a background check. You should be able to check off that you want a copy of your report. Make sure to get that. I think that's a lot of issue right there if you're really trying to find a job. Burger King wouldn't hire you. All right, man, this is like a half-hour long video. Well, there you have it. That's a lot of fun. Shout out my fellow millennials out there working, out there hustling. The boomers are dying off, and we're about to run the world because Gen Xers don't care. All right, well, I got to go. I'll talk to you later. Later.